Welcome back. Of course, we're prepping for the Ghanaian election, but over in the United States of America, it's going down, and a whole lot to grapple with. Mama V is, the returning officer. She's been bringing us up to speed on all the details. It makes for interesting analysis. We'll be delving into that shortly to let you know what the real picture is when it comes to the American election. Kicked off, and from early this morning, results trickling in. It's looking a certain way, isn't it?
Is it looking a certain way?
Well, at least according to a certain Donald Trump, he has come out to say, you know what, I'm winning this, I'm taking this. And he was saying a short while ago.
Yes.
Donald is in campaign mode or, opposition mode rather than acting like president.
Typically, that's not what you see from an incumbent who is the sitting president. So we will bring you back what President Trump has been saying, but we know that Joe Biden also spoke a bit earlier. We'll bring you those two speeches so that you can analyze and draw your own conclusions. But here's a little of what we know as we've been picking it from the BBC. We've also been monitoring the CNN. Right. But I guess we can begin to tell you what the BBC is reporting.
Right.
That's generally more acceptable, even though the CNN is projecting Florida, for instance, for Donald Trump, and Minnesota for Biden.
Joe Biden. But when you look at the figures in Florida, it's obvious Trump is likely to carry the day, looking at the chunk of votes he has got against what Biden has chalked. But the BBC, as far as what it's reporting, 220 for Biden, that is the electoral college votes, then 213 for the Republican candidate.
This is
Donald
same for CNN
Trump
as well.
Well, CNN initially had 224. For Biden, you recall during the
back
news
to
review.
220 exactly.
And, so it makes for quite an interesting picture there. And when you look at it, according to the exit polls, so far 65 plus million, that is 65,595,847, constituting 49.8% of the vote for Joe Biden, and for Donald Trump. 63,949,160, constituting 48.6% for the incumbent, Donald Trump. And the magic number here, 270. You cross that number of electoral votes, or you get exactly that, and you can say hello to the White House.
Absolutely. So 270, you say that's the electoral votes that you need to win the presidency. And CNN projects that Trump won the battleground states of Ohio and Florida, and Biden won Minnesota. Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin have become increasingly crucial. So we'll keep monitoring what's happening, but we can listen to Joe Biden, who spoke a bit earlier ahead of Trump. Here's what he had to say.
Your patience is commendable. We knew this was going to go long, but who knew we're going to go into maybe tomorrow morning, maybe even longer. But look, we feel good about where we are. We really do. I'm here to tell you tonight, we believe we're on track to win this election.
Yes.
We knew because of the unprecedented early vote and the mail-in vote that it was going to take a while. We're going to have to be patient until the hard work of tallying the votes is finished. And it ain't over till every vote is counted. Every ballot is counted. But we're feeling good. We're feeling good about where we are. We believe one of the nets has suggested we've already won Arizona, but we're confident about Arizona. That's a turnaround. We also just called it for Minnesota, and we're still in the game in Georgia, although that's not one we expected. And we're feeling real good about Wisconsin and Michigan. And by the way, it's going to take time to count the votes. We're going to win Pennsylvania. I've been talking to folks in Philly, Allegheny County, Scranton, and they're really encouraged by the turnout and what they see. Look, we could know the results as early as tomorrow morning, but it may take a little longer. As I've said all along, it's not my place or Donald Trump's place to declare who's won this election. That's the decision of the American people. But I'm optimistic about this outcome. And I want to thank every one of you who came out and voted in this election. And by the way, Chris Coons and the Democrats, congratulations here in Delaware.
John Carney.
Pardon me?
John Carney.
Hey, John, the Gov, yeah, the whole team, man. You've done a great job. I'm grateful to the poll workers, to our volunteers, our canvassers, everyone who participated in this democratic process. And I'm grateful to all of my supporters here in Delaware and all across the nation. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So you had Sleepy Joe there. Well, Mr. Trump has also been talking. He's heading to the Supreme Court, he says, and he's declared an, what shall we say, unsupported victory for himself. Here we go.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, sir. Thank you. This is without question the latest news conference I've ever had.
We love you. We love you.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much. And I want to thank the American people for their tremendous support. Millions and millions of people voted for us tonight. And a very sad group of people is trying to disenfranchise that group of people. And we won't stand for it. We will not stand for it. I want to thank the First Lady, my entire family, and Vice President Pence, Mrs. Pence, for being with us, all three of us. And we were getting ready for a big celebration. We were winning everything, and all of a sudden it was just called off. The results tonight have been phenomenal, and we are getting ready. I mean, literally, we were just all set to get outside and just celebrate something that was so beautiful, so good. Such a vote, such a success. The citizens of this country have come out in record numbers. This is a record. There's never been anything like it. To support our incredible movement, we won states that we weren't expected to win. Florida, we didn't win it. We won it by a lot. We won the great state of Ohio. We won Texas. We won Texas. We won Texas by 700,000 votes, and they don't even include it in the tabulations. It's also clear that we have won Georgia. We're up by 2.5% or 117,000 votes with only 7% left. They're never going to catch us. They can't catch us. Likewise, we've clearly won North Carolina, where we're up 1.4%. or 77,000 votes with only approximately 5% left. They can't catch us. We also, if you look and you see, Arizona, we have a lot of life in that. And somebody declared that it was a victory for, and maybe it will be. I mean, that's possible. But certainly there were a lot of votes out there that we could get, because we're now just coming into what they call Trump territory. I don't know what you call it, but these were friendly Trump voters. And that could be overturned. The gentleman that called it, I watched tonight, he said, well, we think it's fairly unlikely that he could catch. Well, fairly unlikely. And we don't even need it. We don't need that. That was just a state that if we would have gotten it, it would have been nice, Arizona. But there's a possibility, maybe even a good possibility. In fact, since I saw that originally, it's been changed and the numbers have substantially come down just in a small amount of votes. So we want that obviously to stay in play. But most importantly, we're winning Pennsylvania by a tremendous amount of votes. We're up 600. Think of this. Think of this. Think of this. We're up 690,000 votes in Pennsylvania. 690,000. These aren't even close. It's not like, oh, it's close. With 64% of the vote in, it's going to be almost impossible to catch. And we're coming into good Pennsylvania areas where they happen to like your president. So we'll probably expand that. We're winning Michigan, but I'll tell you, I looked at the numbers. I said, whoa. I said, wow, that's a lot. By almost 300,000 votes. And 65% of the vote is in. And we're winning Wisconsin, so we're winning. We don't need all of them. We need, because when you add Texas in, which wasn't added, I spoke with the really wonderful governor of Texas just a little while ago, and Greg Abbott, he said, congratulations. He called me to congratulate me on winning Texas. I mean, we won Texas. I don't think they finished quite the tabulation, but there's no way. And it was almost complete, but he congratulated me. Then he said, by the way, what's going on? I've never seen anything like this. Can I tell you what? Nobody has. So we won by 107,000 votes with 81% of the vote. That's Michigan. So when you take those three states in particular, and you take all of the others, I mean, we have so many, we had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left.
Classic Donald John Trump there. Basically calling the elections in certain respects and making for very, very interesting reading. But for those of you who may not have followed it, the man Joe Biden himself, the Democratic candidate, you know, he's contested 3 times. This is his 3rd time. The 2 showings initially were abysmal, but that is exactly what has happened. 1988, Joe Biden, then 2008, and now 2020. In fact, some people felt his career was dead in the can until he became the vice presidential candidate with Obama, becoming vice president. And this has resurrected his career. Some people are asking, who is the luckiest president ever? I would say it is between the 2 of them, actually, because when you look at Joe Biden's political history, and some of the things he has done, even in the Senate, Iraq War, and all of that, and coming to this stage, and Donald John Trump himself, whom nobody expected to get to this point, you could call these people the 2 luckiest to be at this stage. If Joe Biden becomes president, then he would be one of the 2.
Well, we have a long way to go until then. In the meantime, as we've heard, a very subdued tone, which we're not usually familiar with, Mr. Trump speaking without evidence, saying that he's won the elections. So we will see how far this goes. We will be back after our major conversation, and then we'll be talking about the U.S. elections. He's also, again, without evidence, has talked about election fraud. So plenty of matters to go into. Yep. Remember that he's a sitting president, so a lot of what he's doing has not been witnessed before. But hey, it happens. Okay, so stay with us. We will come back and talk about the Ejapa deal. There's a lot of other issues, but today we're concentrating, Ben, on Parliament. We're asking, how could they have missed all that the special prosecutor outlined when the deal first went to Parliament? Stay with us for this all-important conversation.